go. Off to the Ruby in the brand new homemade joint. We'll see how it does. Working good so far though. What's up guys, this is Finn. Welcome to Treehouseoverland. This footage is from November of 2022 when my business partner and friend Michael and I decided to try the Rubicon Trail.
Whoa, demon.
As the trip got closer, the weather reports called for lots of snow, and my wife pleaded with me not to go, but I was being hard-headed. We had it planned for so long that we were just going to go no matter what. It got a little bit hairy towards the end, as you'll see, and if it wasn't for the kindness of some strangers, our trucks might still be out there. It was a 270-mile drive to the Loon Lake entrance. We got there around 10 p.m. and that's where we camped for the night. This is my 1-year-old Siberian Husky Boomer, and he refused to come in the truck at night. This is his first experience with snow.
Good morning. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what the temperature is, but it feels like minus 1,000. It is absolutely beautiful. It's clear, but there are clouds all around us that don't look great. So hopefully it stays that way for as long as possible. I'll give you a look around. We are at the Loon Lake Rubicon Trailhead.
So before we hit the trail, there was a few things I needed to do. We needed to eat. I also needed to add some preload to my coilovers. I built this long travel suspension system in my garage, and I was working on it up until the day before we left. It had not seen any real-world testing until this trail, which was probably a dumb idea, but when you're on a mission, you're on a mission. And then I just needed to reinstall my Skid Row skid plates, as I hadn't had time the day before to do that either. If you guys are interested in some heavy-duty skid plates for your 4x4, head on over to skidrowoffroad.com and use code TREEHOUSE10 at checkout for 10% off anything they sell. Now the last thing to handle before we get on that trail is to air down. I went down to 15 PSI on all 4 tires. I would have liked to go down a little further, but I don't have bead locks, and this is where I felt safe. So the outhouses here are just like anywhere else, but doorstop is a bump stop. Same bump stop I ran for years. Too funny, man. Being that this was my first time rock crawling, I took it really slow, you guys. So a lot of the clips you're gonna see are sped up 200%, 300%. That's just so you don't have to sit there and watch paint dry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, buddy.
This is wild, you guys. It's so freaking expansive. Here's what it looks like. Flexing on fools. So as you can probably gather, it was pouring rain and the temperature was just above freezing. It was brutal out. It was also my first experience with altitude sickness, so it was a mild headache the entire time I was there. Not really any appetite and just kind of fatigued and weak.
Yes, sir. Nope.
And so far, the truck is working great. Suspension is soaking up all the bumps real easy. No major clanks or clunks to speak of. I was really happy with it. It's just rocks everywhere. We just passed the 1.5 mile marker and we're looking for the midway point or something. The trail calmed down quite a bit. Boomer's hanging in there, right Booms? This thing is way too freaking bright. I need to adjust that. I think we found the place though.
Oh my God, yeah!
Yep, this is our spot for the night. Made it to the bridge, y'all. All right, so we made it to Ellis Creek. This is where we planned on camping. We cooked some food and then just kind of turned in for the night, and then it started to snow. Again, I couldn't get Boomer to come back inside the truck. He was just happy as a clam in his natural habitat. This is what it looked like when we went to sleep and when we woke up. When I saw all this snow, I can't lie, I was a little bit worried. I mean, a majority of the trail yesterday had been uphill, so if worse came to worse and we had to go back the way we came, it would have been icy, snowy, and downhill. We packed it up and decided to keep heading on down the trail. We knew what was in back of us, but we did not know what was in front of us yet, so we decided to just keep trying to go down the trail. I think we had done, at this point, 1.5 miles of the Rubicon Trail, and there's still about like 20 miles to go or something. So we were crazy, we were fooling ourselves, but we didn't know it at this point. We were still having fun. So we're in about 1/2 foot of snow. And as you can see, I'm using every trick this truck has to offer. So I got my rear locker on. I'm in 4 low. My 4 low light is burnt out. I got my diff lock on and I'm in first gear. You drop it into second and then push Shift L and it locks it into first gear. So that's literally everything. That's what we got going on. Try to get through this. All right, so it's not looking so much like a winter wonderland anymore. We took a dead end trail, we're trying to back out of it and having issues. Michael has a rear locker, an Eaton E-locker, and it was working up until he installed his winch. So we're gonna try to get that thing fired back up. We've been using traction boards. We've been stuck in this spot for about a half hour. We need to call home and let our ladies know that we're alive. Slipping everywhere I walk. I have my grocery bags, my socks. Old trick from Massachusetts to keep your feet dry. Don't really do much to keep them warm, but they keep them dry. But yeah, basically we have to back up this entire way we just came and try to head the other way. Walking to the cell phone tree. The only place on the Rubicon with cell service apparently. And we're seeing crosses put up and memorials for people that have died out here. That's not really helping my... All right, so we just made it back from cell phone tree. It was about 1 mile each way. We called our significant others and let them know we were okay. Our best bet at this point is to just back up and go the way we came. We'll see what the slabs look like when we get there. It's 2 o'clock right now. Means we got about 5 hours of daylight left. I'm chilling, Boomer's chilling. We definitely got enough food and clothes to last us probably a week out here. So at this point, we had explored continuing on the trail, and it just wasn't an option. We got to a point where, I mean, it was just impassable, at least for our vehicles, 35-inch tires and IFS. So we started heading back the way we came, and that's when we ran into our guardian angels. We might have met our guardian angels. They've been this way, they know this way, and we're gonna follow them. Thank God. So these guys had Jeeps on 39s and 40s, and they had just come in for a day trip, but they were planning on exiting through the road that we could not find. So we were more than happy to follow them home.
Yeah, go slow on that spot. It almost kissed my door.
Now go passenger. That's good. Hold that. Keep coming. Keep coming. Stop, 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 stop.
Huh.
You got a winch?
Yeah.
You might want to control it.
All right.
All right.
That's up. Something really weird I noticed about my truck on this trail that I can only really attribute to the altitude maybe, is that the throttle pedal was so sensitive. I mean, I would ease on it so super softly, and then all of a sudden the truck would just lurch and jump out of nowhere, and everyone kept telling me to slow down, but I couldn't help it. You.
Perfect line. Perfect line. A little dry. Come back.
So here's where things start to get interesting. If you listen right now, you can hear my spider gears snap. Watch the snow fall off my tires when it breaks. I did end up snapping a CV, but I'm pretty sure that was my spider gear.
You're right, it's just your bumper.
You're probably wondering how are my tires even still spinning with a broken spider gear, but I've driven hundreds of miles with multiple broken spider gears before I even realized they were broken. The only reason I knew they were broken the first time is when I went to go change the fluid in my front diff. Chunks started falling out into the pan. 640.
Pick it up.
At this point I was dead in the water, so I had to use my winch to winch myself right off a tree, and then Michael had to pull me back with his winch. Luckily he was in back of me, because we had to do this a couple times. And these guys helped us for hours. These guys, man, I tell you, they wouldn't take any money from us either. Michael's truck did great on this trail all in all. I mean, he's much lighter, much thinner. I called it the little 4Runner that could. Just wouldn't stop. This was less than 6 months ago, but this truck has changed a lot since then. Be on the lookout for a video where we install a JD Fab long travel kit on this thing.
Your driver.
Hard driver.
6 p.m. and we're still out here. These guys are still helping us. It's unbelievable. They've been godsends.
There we go.
That's right, I'm being towed. I lost my transmission. So I finally reached a point in the trail where drive wouldn't work, reverse wouldn't work, 3, 2, 1, none of my gears would work. It was like the whole thing was in neutral. I figured I blew my transmission. I mean, I took a quick look under the truck, didn't see anything wrong. It was dark. So this Jeep Gladiator on 40s hooked a tow rope to me and pulled me through the trail like it was nothing. I told Michael over the radio that night that if he ever told anybody that my big bad Toyota had to get pulled out of the Rubicon Trail by a Jeep, friendship over. Now, in all seriousness though, my first 3 4x4s were Jeep CJ7s, so I got love for the Jeep very deep down inside me, but I have a whole new respect for the Jeep now. Getting towed in the Sequoia, got a broken CV and a busted transmission. 2 Alexes and a Kyle came through in the clutch. Took us out of a blizzard. We would have been trapped in the middle of nowhere. Look at the snow. Fucking crazy. Well, it's the next morning. I'm stuck in Placerville. It didn't freeze last night and it didn't snow anymore, but it is raining a little. It's around 38 degrees, so it's not freezing. Got electricity, watching a movie, chilling. Life could be worse. Life could be better, but life could be worse. Thank you to the 2 Alexes and Kyle getting us off that trail, man. They towed me for probably a total of an hour, maybe an hour and a half off that mountain. And it turns out at the very end, we thought they were just a bunch of Jeep dudes, which they were. They were cops. And so I'm still not used to having positive experience with police or law enforcement of any kind. I have a history beyond just being a Sequoia dude. I was a drug addict and a criminal for many years. But I'm not going to get into that right now. That could be its own video. All right, so what it turned out to be the transfer case actuator, which normally goes right there. You can see the plastic bits of the case. So used some vice grips to get it in gear. Got a little bit down the street and then remembered about this blown CV, which is not surprising that I blew a CV on the Rubicon at all. Now we get to change it in a snowstorm. Yay? Yay! Yay! So that's what we're gonna do. Take it out entirely and plug it with some plugs that I brought, especially because I knew this was gonna happen. This one, I think it just blew its seat, but who knows till we open it. But that's not supposed to look like that. I brought this for this reason, because you cannot run these trucks without this. This hub is not attached to anything. We're gonna get this in there, be on our way. Can I get a shot of this truck without your ugly mug? It might just pull you. Rubicon hands. This is after washing them twice. If you know, you know. Alright, we just fueled up and we are out of here, man. That's more than enough adventure for me. Assuming everything goes right, I'm just gonna limp this thing home with one CV, my flashers on. Well, we're airing back up. The adventure is over. This CV held up just fine. Bluetooth CV on this side. ARB is in there humming right along. Michael's got the suitcase. Pretty tight. Rubicon Trail. We'll be back for you in the springtime. Don't get it upped up. We're gonna conquer you once and for all. This is Finn with Treehouse Overland signing off.